got back from Fort Bliss on early, I guess Saturday morning. Got back and uh, then yesterday, Saturday, we came in and just kind of shot, watched tape, and uh, got a chance to see all the things that we got to get better at. And talked about at the beginning of the year. This is going to be a process of finding out what we have and getting some questions answered. Um, Building the team, and one of the things right off that stands out is it's got to continue to build our bench. I thought the guys played quite a few minutes in a game of that magnitude. The first game, you're in a neutral site, which was in Texas, and guys playing 39 minutes, and when you're asking them to give it to you offensively and defensively, obviously there are going to be some periods where they're going to probably play through a little fatigue, and I think that's why you look at some of the mishaps. Two of the things that stand out: turnovers and free throws. And so, as we get ready for University of California, Davis, it's a team that's played a couple of games, and of course that's going to be to their advantage, having played, and they lost those games. And but coming to Arkansas, obviously, I'm sure they're looking forward to it. And but I want to see us kind of build off what took place in the Texas game. It was a game that we were in position to win, and just have some things that broke down, didn't execute, and that's what takes place. So, but that one there's over with, and we move forward to playing against a Cal Davis that returns a lot of players from last year.
Mike, I know it's just one game. What do you feel like you learned about your team, especially the newcomers?
I love the energy level. I love the fight in them. But I think we also got to talk about now the execution part of it. The things that we really harp on, taking care of the basketball. When your forwards combined for, I think, 9 of the 18 turnovers, Daniel and Reggie, they had 9 of them. Just those two alone, and then of course Mason had 4. That's something that sticks out, and then of course the free throw line. But I think the learning curve to me is great because we're going to be in a lot of games like that. Daniel's going to have to go to the free throw line and knock some free throws down. But I love the fight. Our defense was. We held them 19% in the second half, so our defense was in place. Just the things that we got to the correct. Or those areas that I just talked about. But I love the fight. I love the opportunity for some guys who never played this level. All of a sudden they're playing in a Texas-Arkansas game in a neutral setting. I think that's pretty cool. So for a guy like Desi and Keyshawn, so I thought there was some nervousness going on with some of them, and so hopefully they get a better feel once we play here. But to have an opportunity to have that kind of experience, I think, is invaluable, to our players. And I'm talking about even just having an opportunity to go and hang out with the servicemen, the troops, the majors, and that's kind of breathtaking for our guys because they hear about it, they see about it, and happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, the ones that are civilians, the ones that have served to our country, and the ones that are serving right now. But it gave us a greater appreciation of what they do, the sacrifices they make to make our country a better place, to make the world a better place. And so it's kind of sombering, for our guys to have a chance to sit down in the mess hall, sit and talk with some of the troops. We had one of the sergeants that was with us, so it was a great experience. Other than the loss, which was a tough loss, but it's one we'll learn from.
Because especially being maybe spoiled with Macon and Barford and those guys, are you concerned about whether y'all can score enough points after
No, Nate, I think we can score. I think the tempo of the game was basically to their liking. Two teams like to press and get up down the floor. It wasn't not an up and down game. And I thought the tempo was up to their liking. And after coming back watching the tape, I mean, it's like possession basketball. That's what we played. And gave ourselves a chance. And, when you play it that way, sometimes it's going to come down who has the ball the last possession. I think we're capable of scoring. We didn't make shots. We didn't make free throws. I mean, but you make your free throws, you're going to score in the 80s. You don't turn the ball over, you're going to score in the 90s. So I don't think scoring I think we're going to be able to score. And I thought our defense kept us in the game. They didn't play particularly well in the first game as well. It was their second game, but I think we're going to be able to capable of scoring. I think the key now is to eliminate the things that kind of defeat you themselves, and that is the turnovers and free throws. And then I think our bench. We didn't get no production off our bench. And whether that's just the first game or they weren't in sync, I just know we didn't execute. So, but we got to learn from it. And I think coming into the next game, I think tempo is going to be important. I think our defense intensity. I think the push of the ball. We didn't push the basketball. I think we had like 4 fast break points. That's not Razorback basketball.
Yeah, Mike. And speaking of the bench, I think you guys got outscored 25-4. The bench is usually, traditionally been one of your strengths. Do you feel good that the bench will be a strength, that can be a strength?
I hope it will be. That's the key. I think that's the making of the team. You develop that. I think you got to develop that. As we still try to search the guys that are going to be your the starters, and I always talk about having 7, 8 starters. But I think the most important component to our team is going to be our guys coming off the bench, and we got some guys that are capable of doing it. I think we just got to get them to playing at a better level, knowing their roles and knowing when they come off that bench what they're going to provide, and guys understanding their roles. I think that's going to be a big part of it too. But I thought the tempo had a lot to do with it too. As a matter of fact, when those guys came in defensively off the bench, I thought Dez, I thought Keyshawn, I thought Gabe, and Reggie. I thought they brought some really good energy. Weren't able to score. But Texas went up in that game 12 points, and I think some of those guys were out there when we actually cut into the league.
And with young guys, how do you think they'll get over a tough loss? And what do you think will be the mindset getting to play at home Monday night and making your home opening debut and all that?
It'll be interesting to see. That to me, that's the when I talk about shaping this team and it having its own identity. Those are the things you're gonna have a chance to see. I wanted to see, we go in the halftime, we were down 6. How are we going to respond? After being down, they took a swing at us, went up 12, and we withstood it. We fought that rally, and then we put ourselves in position to win. How do you respond when you're up 3 with the basketball? Well, we didn't pass that test. We turned the ball over, gave them an opportunity to score. How do you respond? You're up 3. With 9 seconds to go, do we get that stop? So we got to learn. So now, okay, you had a tough loss, and it hurt them. I know that because they felt they left everything out there on the floor. And that's what I told them: leave everything on the floor. So now that loss can't have an effect on the next game. You don't want the hangover effect. So I'm anxious to see how they come out and perform tomorrow.
Daniel obviously did a lot of great things with the points and rebounds and stuff, but 6 turnovers, he was getting double teamed a lot. Is that just something he's got to learn to deal with because he didn't get double teamed as much last year with the guards you
Correct.
had?
Yeah, that's the analogy of you go number 1 on the scouting report now, and you got to be able to handle that. And sometimes simple is better. I thought he kind of overthought the situation. He's trying to split traps and just doing stuff that he normally don't do. And Daniel's a really good passer. That's why it surprised me with him having that many turnovers. And so he's got to be better.